Hello, what's going on today? Welcome to the live show, Monday Live, here with Trucking Answers, 1 p.m. every Monday. Be sure to be here. Thank you. I'm waiting for the tablet to fire up here. We'll get to some hellos and shout outs. It looks like we are getting ready. What's happening out there? Who's out there today? Checking on the thing. There we go. Right. Technology doing good here. Hello, Richard. What's happening? Good to see you out there today. See some people coming in now. Here we go. Marty. Yes. I wish I could was like Bill Nye. That'd be awesome. Fast Joe, what's happening? U-Haul, what's going on out there, U-Haul? I always wonder if you work for the U-Haul Corporation. Or if you just like U-Hauls. David, good, checking in. What's going on? It's super sunny and hot today. I hope everybody's air conditioning is working and their APU is working. Mr. Stillman, what is going on out there? Hello? Hope that at least they let you run your truck if your air doesn't work or if the APU isn't working. Some places are like stinkers about that, and that shouldn't be. You should certainly be able to idle it without an APU, especially today. Mr. Jim, hello? Okay, I got that on there, right? Yeah. Trucking Wife, hello. Thank you for coming in today. Hope your husband is having a good day on the road today, and that his air is also working. What everybody think about the what FMCSA has to say about changing the rules? What do we think about that? That was the big talk, certainly, over the weekend. You know, getting the hours of service changed finally. There's been so much complaints about it. What do we think about eliminating the 30-minute break? That's the main bone of contention. I'm all for it, right? Let's get rid of that break. It just is annoying when you have to stop and you're like, oh, I could keep going. Rick, what's going on out there today? You say, well, I got to stop. I have to stop here, even though I'm 10 minutes away or whatever. I have to take this break. It just doesn't make any sense, really. That doesn't have anything to do with anything, and it took 30 minutes away from your day, really. You know, even the day is long, but really just took out 30 minutes because they didn't extend at least to 14 and a half hours. At least they could have extended it. So basically cut everybody's day by half an hour. So it's like cutting your pay by 30 minutes a day. Yeah, Black Ghost, I agree. It's annoying, and they said that's the thing they have the most complaints about is the 30-minute break. They get the most complaints about that break. Yeah, California, what about CA? Right, California has these new rules that are going up about driver trainees. So people that are in training are going to go to school. They want to change those rules so that the trainee has to have 10 hours of on the road time, right? Public roads. But they're going to change that, you know, so that actually an hour is only 50 minutes. So really it's a little over 8 hours of time in California. That's not that much time. 10 hours of road time. I think I had more road time in my truck school back in the 80s. We were on the road all day, every day, you know, running around. And Billy Thompson, hello from North Carolina. And Marty, does your pre-trip on your 30-minute break? Okay. All right. I guess it works out in there, of course. We won't want to comment about that because your break is off duty, right? So I don't think so. But they don't have any more training in California for trainers. There's no mandatory minimum to be a trainer, ironically. So theoretically, even though most companies don't do it, you could just have this 10 hours, get your license, and become a trainer, theoretically, for a company. I don't know if any company's doing that, but they don't have any kind of standard at all for training to be a trainer of drivers. In truck school, they do. You have to go get a separate license, at least out here you do. But to train at a company, they can just go, hey, you're a trainer, and hit you with their magic wand, sprinkle some dust on you, and now you're a trainer. So there's no standard for that. So once you get into a truck, then you could be trained by anybody, really. Mogul Media, as I see popped up there, I'm waiting for it. Okay, can you conceal carry in states that don't grant reciprocity? I don't think so. I'm not an expert on concealed carry. for sure, but I say no, especially because if it's not a reciprocal state, you don't have a you don't have a license in that state to carry. So I say no, and of course most companies don't allow it. So if you're a company driver, check with your company. Here, no weapons, right? No way. They get gripey if you have too big of a knife. But if it's your own truck, I'd be very careful about that because probably it's likely a felony if you got caught with it. And that is a problem. That's a problem. So I don't think so. I don't think you can carry it even in a box. The only way you could carry a gun is if it was a load, in the load, for Smith & Wesson or something. Check carefully before you do that. I'm no expert on that for sure. Check very carefully before you carry a weapon in the truck. When I got my CDL, it was a 70-minute hour. Yeah, they hadn't invented 60-minute hours yet. And there was also several logbooks that you'd carry at the same time, which is not recommended, certainly. How do you get hired without going to school and no experience, but you have your CDL? That's a problem. Around here, there are farmers that run grain trucks and that kind of thing, and I've seen those ads that that kind of person might take you. A large company, no, they're going to want you to go through their training. I've seen that on some, though. You can look through. Some of them say no experience, but have your license. They have some kind of program for that. So that is possible as well. Or a farmer where they have an A-class truck, and then you have no problem with it that way. Right. Okay. There's a code. Right. Okay. So you put a code up here. I can't look that up right now. I'd have to look it up later. The interstate transportation of firearms, does that deal with it in the truck, though? You're talking about having it for yourself as opposed to having it in the trailer. I'm not sure about that, about what that is. We have found little Viking coach. Why, has he showed up here today? Well, everybody's welcome in as long as they're positive. That's for sure. Yeah, my big announcement, I changed what I do at work, right? I'm going to come home every day. I changed to a very short route, so I'll make this right here. I'm going to be running the same route every day. That gives me more time to do time with Trucking Answers because I really like doing it. But I'm running out of time because I have the website. I write a blog on there. I do these live shows and then I do videos, and it's just crazy. It takes a lot of time. People don't realize, how much time that takes. It does take a lot of time. What's up, Big Huge Mike? And so I'm going to do that. It's only going to run about 40 to 45 hours a week at work. A single drop and hook, right, and back home. And that'll give me more time to devote to Trucking Answers because I also tweet. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I'm also here doing this stuff. So it just takes all your time and you just can't do it. So that's what I'm going to do, right? That's the good thing of working at a large company. They have a lot of opportunities for different things that you can do. So when there's an opening over here, you can go do that. When there's something else to do, like we have an opening from New Mexico to Detroit for a solo driver, right? One stop on each end, 3,100 miles a week. So, there's everything that you can want to do, and that's a pretty easy job too, but that's what I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to devote the most time that I can here because, I feel like I'm at least helping a few people anyway, and I like doing it. So that's what we're going to do here, and be focusing more time on Trucking Answers every day, right? I'll do something every day somewhere. Find me everywhere on social media. I'm all over the place. Safety Dog, what's happening out there? Hopefully being safe. That is for sure. You found little Viking coach, but I haven't seen him on here. Okay, so I don't know anything about that. Andrew says you can't conceal carry unless you have a permit, and if that state does not have reciprocity. Look, I totally agree. If there's no reciprocity, you don't have a license, and so somebody finds that gun, right? It's a felony, right? You're going to be arrested, I think, for improper carrying of a weapon. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. It's super worrisome. That would worry me a lot to carry a gun. And then what do you get arrested? And then you certainly get fired. I mean, the truck could be impounded or whatever. That's not worth it. I don't think so. Okay, Rick. Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you coming in anyway, for stopping by. At least stop by, say hello, and then back to work you go. I would agree with Andrew on that totally, right? 100%. I don't know the rule, but no way. I don't think, has anybody had any concealed carry in their truck? You don't see drivers carrying that much anymore, really. Or you certainly don't hear about it. They're not posting, hey, there's a weapon in this truck. Most companies prohibit it. If you are if you're a company driver, that's not going to happen. Oh, what's happening, Mr. Skeptical? Usually you're in early. Like here, prohibited. Most places I've ever worked, prohibited. Not allowed to carry. No way. They don't want anything to do with it. They don't want the liability problem because they'll probably be sued for it or whatever. The bigger places will be sued. So I say no way. No way I'm carrying it. All right, what about any other changes that we're thinking here on for the DOT? And do you think these are going to go through? Is FMCSA going to do anything about it? And have you commented on it? Have you made your comments? Oh, it popped away. Several owner operators who carry, though they don't go broadcasting it. Yeah, diesel trucker, I probably agree. There's probably a ton of people that do have it. They're certainly not going to announce it, but if that were found in an inspection or something, 2 times, well, would like to know if the DOT can legally search your truck. Ironically, that is what I was just going to say. 2 times in my career, okay, since 1988, the DOT have been inside the cab of my truck searching it. Okay, searching the truck. Can they legally do it? I'm a company driver both of those times, okay? And the company would say, I have to allow it as the company driver because it's not my truck, it's their truck. So whatever the DOT wants, the company would say okay to. So they went through the truck. Now, I don't have a weapon or anything. They didn't find anything because I wasn't carrying a weapon. So, but if they went in your truck, you got a problem. Can they legally search it? I don't know. Probably. I'm not a lawyer, okay? I don't even play a lawyer on YouTube. But I will tell you that probably. It's a commercial vehicle. It's not a private vehicle, right? Even though I live in the truck, it doesn't matter, right? If you have a DOT number on it, I think it's going to qualify under some kind of interstate rules of commercial vehicle. And I'm going to say probably. I don't know. If they do and find it, you'd have to fight them then. That's the other side of it. Say they don't have the right to do it, but they get in there somehow, they arrest you or move you, and they go and take it, and they get your gun and arrest you. Now you're arrested. Now you have to go get a lawyer and fight them, and so you win. All right, a year later, you win. They drop the charges. You've spent $7,000 on a lawyer, lost this load, maybe lost your job, that kind of thing. Even though, yeah, it's maybe overreach by the government, it isn't worth it. Some things aren't worth it. You got to decide, is this worth it? Is this, Dr. Laura always said, is this the hill you want to die on, right? Is this worth the hassle? Or just let him look around in your truck, so that if you own the truck, if you have the option. I don't have that option. No place I've ever worked would give me that option. So if you're a company driver and you ask them, they'd probably say, yeah, you have to let the DOT search your truck. So that's right. Okay, I don't believe they could if you say no, I believe they can shut you down. Big Mike, yeah, maybe they could say, all right, well, you got to sit here for 10 hours. I mean, or you have to wait until we get a dog. It's a problem. It's a problem. And it seems wrong to say, well, just comply with them. That seems like that's not America or whatever, and I agree, right? In here we have the flag. But still, look, you got to decide where you're going to put your effort and fight them and where you're going to comply with a request that may be unreasonable, maybe even illegal. Because if you don't, and then they arrest you, and so they arrest you, and then they just, all right, forget it. Okay, now your truck's been impounded, towed away, you've been arrested, you have an arrest record, even though you were not convicted. Somebody can look that up. If you get arrested and are not convicted, that can be looked up, okay? It's a public record. You don't need those kind of problems. That's what I think. So on things like that, I just would go along with it if I had the option. So I would let them in the truck anyway, even if I didn't have the option. If I could say no, I would still let him in the truck. Sure, look around the truck. There's no problem, right? I got no problem. That's how I would do it because I got stuff to do. And, then I can gripe about it online later or write to their supervisor, maybe get it in the press or something and get them some grief that way. But for on the spot, I don't think it does you any good. I think you're going to have problems. So is it legal to do long hauls with a day cab power only? Absolutely. Sure, and you'd sleep in a cheap motel on your 10-hour break? Sure. You can go anywhere you want in a day cab. Just follow the logbook. No problem. You don't have to have a sleeper. You can go to a motel every night. No problem. And why cheap motel? Hit the Hilton every night, man. You're living at large. Truckers, you're rolling in the bucks out there. You know it. Everybody says it. So you know you can hit the Hilton. But is it legal to do long hauls? Yeah, of course. Of course. You can drive as far as you want as long as you're legal. You have the same rules as everybody else. You just can't log sleeper time. If you have the hotel receipts, yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Keep the receipt, keep the hotel receipt. And if you have to term at the end of the week, copy them so that you have, a couple of weeks of motel receipts. That's a very good idea because you're showing off duty, of course. We're not showing any sleeper time. Otherwise, yeah, a friend of mine used to drive trucks for Volvo and Mack from the factory, delivering new trucks where they stack 3 of them up and he'd take them somewhere. And they were sleepers, but he still had to get a motel every night. They wouldn't let him sleep in the truck. So, and he got a motel, no problem, every night. And they would just go to the next place. They didn't want you running the truck and, I guess, stinking up the mattress for the new person. I don't know. Huh. You could write it off at the end of the year. Yo, very good. You can write that off. That's correct. Huh. That's very good. How can you... Okay. What's going on, Mark? Another Mark out here. That is awesome. Can you explain your math equation on miles per gallon? See how much companies are stealing. Yeah, okay. If you're an owner-operator, you'd need the receipts for taxes. Correct. Right. If you're going to deduct them, you'd need the receipt. That's correct. So for miles per gallon, how much are they stealing? Well, this is presuming that you're buying the fuel, correct? So we take the fuel surcharge, right, whatever it is, trucker daddy, oh, Quebec, nice. 20 degrees up there, right, centigrade. And multiply it by your fuel mileage. So if you're, easy example, if the fuel surcharge is 30 cents, which you should know if you're buying the fuel, and you get 7 miles per gallon, they're giving you $2.10 a gallon off. 30 cents times 7 is $2.10. So whatever the price is, if it's $3.10, that would make it easy. Your actual cost on that gallon of fuel is $1. Easy. So what we want to do is get our fuel mileage up high enough. Geeks Trucking, good morning. We want to get our fuel mileage up high enough where that fuel price is 0. If you're buying the fuel. For me, right, but I don't care. They pay for it, right? So, and I don't get a fuel bonus, so I don't necessarily care. I go to a place that's convenient. But so take your fuel surcharge, whatever it is. It should change every week based on the national price. Some of them do regional prices. They go, if you go here, it's different. And just multiply it by your fuel mileage. And then subtract that amount from your cost, whatever your cost is. So if it's the pump price, or some companies give you a discount, and that's your actual cost of fuel on that trip, because that's the mileage you got on that trip. Each trip, it could be different. Maybe next trip, you get 6.5 miles per gallon because they load you up with a bunch of guns that are going to Smith & Wesson. And they're heavy because we have all these guns in there. So you get less on that, right? That was just a shot in the dark. I don't know. You get less on that one. And so then we would do 6.5, right? And that's less. That's $1.95. And then we subtract it, and your cost is $1.20. So in this example, if we got 8 miles to a gallon, 30 cents is $2.40. And if fuel is still $3.10, our cost is 70 cents. 70 cents a gallon. Fuel cost, if you get good mileage and have a good fuel surcharge program, it should not be an issue for an owner-operator. They gripe about it a lot. But most of them give a good fuel surcharge, and don't get some 600-horse, long-nosed Pete, that gets 5 miles to the gallon, 4.5 miles to the gallon. You don't make any money. It looks great, but they don't pay you extra because your truck looks awesome. They pay you for getting the load there. So you need to get a truck that gets the best mileage. I know it's horrible to have a Cascadia or some Volvo, but it's going to put money, tons of money in your pocket. You're welcome for that, Mark. Right. That's the easy way to figure it out. And if you're at a place that's giving a set fuel price, I don't like it. Unless the price is 20 cents or something. Because they set the price higher, and then they make money off of you. The Geeks is looking at getting a Volvo 780. Nice. Super nice. Good mileage, right. We have one in the yard, one Volvo sleeper over there. Sitting there. I don't think it's a 780. We're pretty cheap here. It's the next one down from that. But the Volvo, right, it should get good mileage. And will that have a Volvo engine in it also? And then a Volvo driveline, the whole Volvo deal? Because some people complain that they can't get them fixed. There's not enough Volvo dealers to fix the Volvo engines. So I don't know about that, right? Our shop doesn't like fixing it. They say it's a huge problem to fix them. They don't like fixing them. I'm sure it's 30 cents a mile. Yes. Fuel surcharges are based on the mile. So, and I don't know if it's 30 cents this week. I don't know. It varies every week. It depends what the average cost is and what your company decides. Is it 6 miles per gallon or 7 miles per gallon? There's different variables that the companies put in to their surcharge, but it's always a per mile rate, the fuel surcharge. I've never seen it any different. A fuel mileage rate at per mile, however many miles, right? And it's based on the paid miles, not on how many miles you drive. 8.3, 38 cents fuel surcharge. Holy crap, that's great, right? That's 320, almost 340 off a gallon, right? About 340 off. 38, 240, right? 40 cents ton? No, that's three. You're getting almost zero cost on fuel. 38 cents at 8.3 is well over $3 a gallon. 325, 340. I should bring a calculator in here, right? So you're getting a ton off a gallon. You're getting nearly free fuel. That's pretty awesome. Your 2000 David's 18 gets 8.2, right? Everybody, but if you get all these long nose trucks, these 5.5, that's awesome. They look great. But 5 to 8, I mean, that's thousands and thousands of dollars a year. Enough to literally buy a new truck. Because when you buy the truck, you're running a business. Really. You're trying to run a business. You're not trying to win a beauty contest. If you have a truck for the pride and polish somewhere, that's fine. But if you're running a business, max fuel mileage. And then don't go 50, right? U.S. Express sucks. Well, maybe. Maybe. I haven't been there. They have this huge sign on, right? And they need a lot of teams, that's for sure. They could be a problem. I haven't looked into them. Tri-Team, are you saying put 3 people in the truck and run it just 8 hours, 24 hours a day, non-stopping it? You'd never need a 30-minute break, too. That'd be great. And if you hot seat it, which is probably illegal, you wouldn't even have to stop the truck. You just get out of the seat, next guy gets in the seat. Well, yeah, with aluminum rims, does it save fuel and mileage? Yeah, they're lighter. The aluminums are lighter. It would save fuel and give you the ability to put more freight on the truck and be less likely to be overweight. And it takes less fuel to turn the wheels for rolling resistance. So overall, yes. Not a ton. You're not going to get 3 miles per gallon from them, but it's going to be something for sure. And come on, they shine up nice. Could someone tell me, Prime, the fuel mileage isn't worth going 50? Right. The truck should be set up for the mile per hour you're going to run. Like we run 65, and my truck turns 1,175 RPMs at 65. The Prime, you know, they're running really slow thinking they're doing better, but they cannot be doing any better than people getting in the 8s here. They're not. They're going a little slower. It's not helping them much, if at all, and it takes longer to get somewhere. So you have only so many amounts of minutes a week to drive. You have to think about that. So 10 miles an hour every day, you know, for 10 hours a day is 100 miles a day less that you can actually put out there on the road. Often steel rims are lighter. Okay, look, if the steel rims are lighter, get them. But the aluminums should be lighter. They're pretty light rolling them around and stuff. But if you get the lightest rim, how about that? Whatever the lightest rim is that you could put on there, get it. Singles should be lighter, right? A single should be, you have only 2 tires on there. Oh, your contacts for U.S. Express, and they have not me $1,000 yet. Okay, that sentence didn't quite come out good. Half tanks, does that save enough to fuel extra? Does that save enough? Do you know of any companies that have super sleepers? No. Well, reliable? I've seen some reliable trucks with big sleepers, but I don't know if they're company drivers. Most places are not going to give you a gigantic sleeper. Maybe something like a North American, some kind of van line. But you know, most drivers want to be home, and so they don't need a gigantic sleeper. So companies don't put them, and they're expensive. They're super expensive. That'd be a tough one to find. If that's something that you need to have, that'd be harder to find. Steel rims never lose air. I'll give you that. I've noticed that on the cars. Now we've all gone to aluminum rims. Right, I have to put air in the cars every couple of weeks because they're down 3 pounds, and so the car sends me an email. My tires are low. Come and email me. So I agree with that, right? So I'm forever out there doing that. I totally agree. You're quite welcome, sir. And let's see. Mr. Chess, right. Okay, we still do not have this U.S. Express answer yet, but right. But the steel rims don't lose air. They don't. The steel rims on the car, the same way. They stay full of air. That's what I liked about them. But the aluminums look better. Theoretically, they should be lighter. Maybe the steel ones, what are they doing to them to make them so light now then? Davis Motor Company sells custom sleepers, and they have a very nice 112-inch for only 40,000. Okay, diesel trucker. Well, 40,000, and you would just add that to. I guess if you can put that kind of money into a sleeper, right? You're getting good. You're getting a good rate. You have to consider, what does this thing weigh too? What does this big sleeper weigh? It's got to weigh more than a box. You're hauling something light. Look, more power too. If you can put that on there and you're getting $3 or whatever you get a mile, I think it's great. Oh, okay. Of 3 months left at U.S. Express, you have not made a $1,000 check yet. Should I just look for another job and pay off my loan? Well, now that's interesting. Now that's close. You only have 3 months and then you're clear of it, right? 90 days for $1,000. That's over $300 a month that they're basically giving you also. So that depends. You know, can you stay 3 months, line up a job and have them pay it off if you want to do that now. Say, I got this 1,000, I can't come over there. Can you pay this off? You never know what places will do. Maybe a place has a $1,000 sign-on bonus and then it pays it off that way. Otherwise, stick out the 3 months. I see you haven't gotten a $1,000 check. Hopefully you're saying gross. If you haven't taken $1,000 home yet, I mean, that's still pretty good in your first year to take $1,000. But if you're making a living, they're actually giving you another $333 a month for the next 3 months to pay off this $1,000 that you wouldn't have to pay, that you would not have to pay. And, right, over the road or dedicated at US. There's a lot of stuff to do there. Tell them, look, and call them up and go, look, I'm not making enough money. I'm going to have to get out of here. Give me some miles. And usually they're like, oh, well, crap, we didn't realize. Sometimes it's just they don't realize. Or change your dispatch. It's 3 months only for $1,000. It's like they're giving you $1,000, benefit. Your old company, Chris says, my old company gave us per diem. New company does it automatically. I don't like per diem unless it's an addition to your pay, which some places do. They say, all right, it's so much amount plus per diem. But a lot of them won't give you the per diem, but take that much out of your mileage. So I'm not a huge fan of it that way. But now, right, this year, company drivers, we can't deduct that anymore. And so companies are starting to pay it. It's almost the only way to get it, to get the per diem. But I'm not a fan because of benefit reasons, I guess. As I get older, I think about all this. Your benefit of if you're hurt at work. Drivers are very likely to get hurt at work, way more than the average population. It's the workman's comp and how much disability you get in that is based on how much you make, not on how much you get per diem. So if they reduce your actual gross pay, those benefits are based on that. Social Security is based on it at the end of the year. All those stuff. Getting a loan, if you're to go get a house or whatever, it's based on how much you make. You'd have to talk them into this other stuff. So the downside of it is if you need some kind of benefit, I know nobody thinks it will happen to them, but if you were to need that benefit, it's being way less than you thought it was going to be because you traded off maybe perhaps a lifetime benefit for a small benefit now. So for me, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. Some people swear by it. It take home more money. But if you need some kind of benefit, they're going to be like, well, you only make $500 a week or whatever it is. And so you can't get a house or whatever. So I'm not a fan of it. How do I feel about sex offenders being allowed to support their families by driving OTR? I'm not a fan of sex offenders being allowed to support their families. I'm certainly not going to support a sex offender. I guess it depends what they're in, what they got offended for. Are we 19 and 17 or are we 50 and 12? That makes a big difference to me. When somebody's 19, somebody's 17 and 6 months, that's different. But, somebody that knows the difference, not a huge fan of that, certainly. Oh, they said OTR is 33 cents. Ugh. Oh. I almost fell out. 33 cents. Can U.S. Express really be starting at 33 cents? They must be giving it per diem plus that. Nobody starts at 33 cents. I can't believe it. Do I think guaranteed pay would help maintaining drivers? Yes. Right? We have a guaranteed floor here. $200 a day. Guaranteed. 6 days, $1,200. You can make more, you never make less. I think it's a great idea. Drivers are not warming up to it. They think, oh, that's all I can make. No. If you sit somewhere or whatever, you're going to make $200 no matter what. You never have to worry that you're going to make less than a certain amount of money. You can always plan on at least that amount of money. I think it's a great idea. It's spreading, and I like it. I think it's good because Something happens. Like I can do a lot of Saturday work. I'll come in and do something on Saturday. They had me go to Indianapolis on Saturday and bring a trailer back. Okay, that's 2.5 hours at the most. It's $200. It's a minimum daily pay. Okay, where that would have only been 120 miles, right? But I got $200. That's better than some owner operators do per miles, for sure. You get 29% of the gross as a company driver. Do I think this is okay? Okay, well, let me go back to this, right? Landstar gets 65%. Okay, see, those two connect. The percentage, I don't know. It depends what they get. Percentage is another thing that I worry about. How do I know how much money they get? Just that they tell me they get, oh, this load paid $1,000, so here's $290. How do I know that's good? And how do I know, and what do you get on the empty miles too? So if you're not getting any pay on empty, no, because you got to get paid for the empty miles. But I never know what they're going to get. So I always feel like they're going to hose me on something. That's just my view. If they showed you, okay, well, here's what it is. So then it depends. Maybe they're always getting $3 a mile. That would give you $1 a mile. So it just depends. It depends. But I'm not a fan of percentage. What happens if the state caps your workers' comp at $600? Well, then, but you probably wouldn't get $600 if you were on the per diem. Because it's a percentage, right? Isn't it 2/3 of your pay, right? I believe is workman's comp. So it depends what you were grossing without the per diem, whether you'd get the $600. It just bothers me. You reduce your overall earnings for your lifetime at the end of your life. All these years add up for your Social Security and stuff. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of it. On the per diem, just pay me, right? And I'll figure out what to do with my money. That's what I think. They'll show you any check. Well, will they show? If they'll show you what they get and you believe them, and you think 29% is good, though, that's the other thing. I haven't been a percentage for many years. What do people think out there? Let's get some answers. Is 29% good as a percentage? What do people think on it? I get mileage. What do people think about percentage pay? The aluminum rims run much hotter and suck the heat out of the drum. Really? I didn't know that. Trucks are coming with discs now. I'm waiting to see the first one here. I'm waiting to see ours come in. They said we're going to get one in. I want to see it. Because I saw one with a sign the other day. Caution, this truck has disc brakes. Stay back because it stops so fast you're going to crash into it. I thought that was great. Let us all run our own authority, bring mega carriers to our feet. Yeah. Some people are not into running their own authority. You don't have any benefits, right? That's what I always say. I come at it from a company driver perspective of it. And owner-operators that want to do it, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm not saying it's bad, it's wrong, or anything else. It's just something to consider. For me, it's not something to consider. My wife, goes to the doctor a lot, and so I need a good medical plan to keep her healthy, and as I get older and my extreme upper 30s here, I'm going to be needing all that stuff. And those things are super expensive if you want to buy them on your own. Plus vacation, just vacation. If you take any time off, you have to pay all these bills and that. So for me, thinking about that, it isn't for me. For somebody else may say, yeah, I can make more money and I'm willing to do all that. And I can, partially work on my truck and everything. Then yeah. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. If you want to do it, that's great. It's like the last American thing you can go do where you could basically just put a truck out there and start hauling freight around and make money. It's great, but you have to give up a lot of things to become an owner-operator, especially with your own authority. A lot, and you have to be business savvy or you go broke. And a lot of them do, and that's not good. All right, Safety Dog, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. We'll see you on the next show. We're live every Monday. I want to mention that. Going live every Monday at 1, solid time slot. Be here every week, right? Right. Depends on how much. Okay, so now we're going to answer. It's good. Depends on how much they get. 29% of 10,000, right? 29% of 500. That's the thing. If they take a load that doesn't pay that much, you get 29% of something that doesn't pay that much. On a mileage, you get a pay or a guaranteed pay. You know what you'll get on it no matter what they make. 1,800 to you is good. Yeah, that's good pay. That's 90 grand. That's awesome pay. That's awesome pay. The truck grosses 60 grand. So you'd make, or 60. That'd be great. Truck gross is 6,000. You'd make 2,000, right? A little under 2,000 that. Well, what's wrong with that? 100 grand, 90 grand. That's good money now in the industry. You used to never think that you could make 100,000. Now I hear tons of people making that kind of money, all over the place. So 29% of 6,000 is good money. It's totally good money. So I guess you don't have to look at the empty miles. You could say, all right, a week the truck makes this much money, and does that include benefits too, or is that nothing? Marty takes a shower and you throw him break. Look, I am happy that I hear drivers taking a shower, whether on their break or anywhere else. You could take a shower on your break, right? There's no reason you can't take a shower. Shower's off duty time. 30-minute break can be off duty. You can go do whatever you want on your break, including taking a shower. And I'm personally glad for it. Anybody next Monday, by the way, we're going live next Monday too. Labor Day, I don't care. Drivers are working, I'm live. If you're working, I'm working. So even though I'm off that day, I will be live at 1. Anybody in the Rantoul, Illinois area, if there's going to be a driver stopped at a truck stop out there on 57, let me know, because I will come out there and we'll have dinner and we'll do a video. It's going to be great. So come on out there, okay? If you are going to be in the area stopped, let me know for Labor Day. It stinks that you would have to sit there. I'm going to be at a car show that day, so it'll probably be live at a car show. I won't have my second screen as much for comments, but I'm still going to go live on Labor Day. So be there, as I say. Right. So good. Mega owner-operator. That'd be great. They have Teamsters. Yeah, that's another way to go. There's not that many left, right? But Yellow, they hire. If you want to be home every day and make a decent wage and you get paid for all your time, then Yellow is probably the last place to go. Holland, I think there are Teamsters. Free insurance. Free insurance. You got to buy all that as an owner-operator. And is this 29%? Where are we at on insurance and stuff? That's what I always look at. And vacation and everything like that, So I always look at that kind of stuff. Some people don't care about it, or they have it somewhere else. We have drivers that are retired military, and so they get it through the military. They don't need the insurance. So to them, it doesn't make as much difference. So if you have a way to do it, then then it doesn't matter as much to you. It's a good idea to go through clothes. Yeah, give them to the homeless. All right. It is a good idea to do that, I guess. Go give them to an organization, right? Not directly. Huh. You were watching another YouTuber. What's going on with that? And it was talking about maybe getting a national union of drivers. No, I don't think it's possible legally, right? I don't think drivers are allowed to do that legally. And it won't happen anyway. Okay, geeks, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming in. Would it be possible? Probably not legally, and impossible any other way. Impossible. You're never going to get drivers to do it. Look, OIDA, the national organization, only has, so many drivers, and they're probably the biggest trucking organization. Getting a national union of drivers together, no way will that happen. No way. Besides, the day everybody joins, 3 days later, half of them have already quit the industry. You have to get all the new people in. Yeah, so there's absolutely no way. Okay, good. I was wondering about that, Mr. Jim, if people would like that. I go to Hoopeston, Illinois, if anybody is in the area. It's the Sweet Corn Festival. Not that anybody cares about it, but they have one of the largest car shows in the area, and I love going to go every year. It's the only car show I go to that you pay for, so there's going to be awesome cars there. Hope everybody enjoys it. That's where I'll be, so that's where the show will be from. We're doing a live remote next Monday, always Labor Day, so pop in if you can do it. Yeah, it was outlawed. I don't think you can have a national union of drivers. It's illegal, right? It's not legal. They should have and start a Teamsters for shippers and receivers, loading and unloading. Start paying detention. Well, I always say this, and I always get grief about it, but look, if drivers sit and they're not being paid anything, they shouldn't stay there, especially now. There's no reason now that you can't go to a different job. Sitting all these hours for free is crazy. That we did it all these years is crazy. Never sit around for free. Always treat yourself like a professional first, and professionals get paid for their time. If a company wants to do something, they should pay you to do it. You can't just sit there for nothing. $85 a week for all your insurance. That's very good. That's less than I pay. I pay $133 a week. But I have a lot of insurance, but you're getting a good deal. You're getting a good deal on it. They do, but they make you sit longer. Nice. Yeah. Some places are union on the docks, and that can be a problem because they have a thing. And Timothy says, yeah, walk. Right. I agree, right? If you're getting sitting for any length of time without being paid, especially regularly, I hear people that are I unload 3 times a week and I have to sit 5 hours at a time. That's $15. You're saying zero on the empty miles, but if you're getting 29% of the 6,000, we got to look at the whole week now. So now you're saying you're getting maybe $1,900 or so, right, for the week. Is it worth it for what you do that week? That's what you got to think about then, because we're not doing mileage. We're going to do percentage now. So we're going to say, all right, how many miles did I run? How many hours did I work for this $1,900? Is that a good deal? That's what we want to know. Not, do I get paid a mile or anything, because it's just a total of the week, and is it regular? Or is it next week you get 29% of $2,000? You know, we want it to consistently be good money. I can't legally advise drivers. Yeah, legally or any other way, I guess. Yeah, but it would be possible to educate one of fair wages in their state. Well, I appreciate you thinking I'm a credible source. What is a fair wage? It depends on what a fair wage is to you. A fair wage, first, of course, is that you are being paid for all of your time. And you're getting a wage that is commensurate with the wages in the industry. So a driver, which I've had people write to me, say they gross $750 a week. And I'm like, it doesn't matter what state you're in, that's ridiculous. You know, you can go make more. So you look around in the industry and say, all right, how much can I make in the industry based on, okay, I have this much experience, you know, because as you get more experience, you should get more money. And so you should get a wage that is near or close to that has good benefits as a company driver, I say, and that is satisfactory for you. You know, so some guy lives in LA, has a super high rent, and he's going to want to make more money than me because I have, you know, a cheap apartment in the ghetto that is overrun with drug dealers. That's not true. But still, I don't spend as much to live in the middle of Indiana as people spend somewhere else. So what I make, what they make, he may think, well, you don't make any money, but at the end of the week, I may end up with more money. It just depends. But it's got to be what the industry's paying. You should make what the industry pays in your area. That's easy to find. Everybody's posting their pay out there, so that isn't any problem to find. Marty gave $400 to a homeless guy and used it as a tax write-off on your 1099. Now that's trucking. Did the homeless guy give you a receipt? And what did the receipt say? Homeless guy? Oh, does this guy have a receipt, or do you carry your own receipt book? That's something. Every time you see a line of 150 flatbeds waiting on steel. Oh, okay, right. As long as there didn't, I hear the president wants to get it back. I don't know where we're going with that one. I'm off of that one, right. Fuel surcharges. If the driver is getting $1.50 base pay and the fuel surcharge is 30 cents, then that 30 cents is added to the base pay or taken reimbursed from the company as in the 30 cents off the cost of a gallon. Okay, so fuel surcharge, Sean, okay, well, I'm live every Monday at 1. Fuel surcharge is added to your pay. So you're going to get your $1.50. And the fuel surcharge generally changes every week based on the national cost of fuel. And it's going to be on the loaded miles. Some places pay it on empty miles, usually not. So it's generally on the loaded miles. So yeah, Sean gets a demerit for being late. He's usually on the loaded miles. So that week, you'd get $1.80 a mile for your loaded miles. That's how it would work on that. And that's how you figure it. But this 30 cents is in addition to your base pay. And that's pretty good. You know, right now, if you're getting 8, that's $2.40 this week, if it's 30 cents. And what's diesel? $3.50 I'm seeing, right? That'd be $1.10 is be what your actual cost is. That's really good. That's really good. Okay. Oh, you're quite welcome, David. I love doing it. I really enjoy doing it. I hope that I'm helping somebody anyway. Yeah, but okay, so that's how, Mark, that's how the fuel surcharge works. It's in addition, and it generally changes every week. And if you're an owner-operator or a lease operator, your contract should spell out for you, in fact, it would spell out for you, how the fuel surcharge is calculated, what day it changes, and how it's given to you. So it should say, that should have a chart. This much price, this much, how they calculate it, national average, EPA average, how many cents per mile, everything. You should have a chart. It's in your contract. What day it changes, how you get it, everything. That's how it all works. I agree. $100 late fee can all go to the homeless guy that we got this receipt from the other day. And so in your contract, that's all in there. It'll all be spelled out. Keep that page, right? Read the whole thing before you sign it. No matter if you're an owner or a lease operator, always read through all that stuff before you sign it. And it'll tell you exactly how it's calculated. And it should be at 7 miles to the gallon now, for sure. That's what I think. And it helps out a lot. If you're getting 8.5 miles to the gallon, you could potentially be way under $1 a gallon for fuel. And that's pretty good. Scoot from Missouri is here. That's good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. And welcome all the new people that are coming in. We've had a lot of new people latch on, and I appreciate everybody coming in. We're over 5,000 subscribers now. It's something I never thought could happen. I really appreciate it. Yeah, 7 miles per gallon. Well, I mean, years ago, I was happy to get in the 5s, and I thought I changed over to T600, like the Anteater, and I thought, oh my gosh, this thing is getting 6 miles to the gallon. I'm amazed, right? And that was an empty flatbed. I would get that, and I thought, oh, that's something. Now, if I go into high 8s, I'm like, oh, what's going on with this thing today? There must be something wrong with it. I need to change my points or something. So it's way different than it was. But that's how all these big companies do it anyway. We saw these big companies still flourishing, putting drivers on, even though the fuel goes up. And that's because they charge everybody a surcharge. They're getting all the surcharge, and then they get a discount at the Loves or Pilot, wherever they get them. So not only get a discount on the pump price, they get the fuel surcharge. They're not paying that much a gallon at these companies. They're not. And so they put all these APUs on, which is good for the driver. You should have one. And that saves them a ton of money. There's no reason that they shouldn't be making money. That's why companies don't care how much the fuel goes up to. If it's $4, $5 a gallon, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter because the surcharge continues to go up no matter how much the price of a gallon of fuel is. So it doesn't make any difference. Every time it goes up, they just get more money the next week. I would say some of them probably adjust it every 2 days or something. They only give it to the owner-operators every week. I think they adjust it more often for themselves. I don't have any proof of that. I'm just throwing out a big conspiracy theory about it. But that's what I think anyway. I'm sure they have a way in the computer to get it so that if the price spikes, the day after the adjustment, they don't have to eat that for a week. There's probably a way for them to do it so that they make sure they get their money. But if you were leased on to them or whatever, you'd have to wait that week before you started getting the new amount. Either way, you're going to come out okay with a fuel surcharge and generally better than if a company gives you a flat fuel price. Now, if a company has company fueling, that's usually the lowest price of fuel because they get a bulk discount for buying it and having it at their own place. But you have to be with a pretty large company before they have their own fuel pumps. Most places stop outside. You have to be with some huge company where they're installing their own pumps at places like US Express or whatever. They probably have company fueling, Werner and all those. But if you're leased to somebody smaller, you're just going to have to stick with a fuel surcharge and usually some kind of discount. They usually should pass the discount along to you at the Loves of 5 cents or whatever off a gallon. And that helps to save you a ton of money as well. For me, though, right, the days of owning my own truck, they're probably over. I'm going to stick with being a company driver and just having health insurance. It's super expensive. My plan, I looked it up, it was like it would be like $900 and some a month to pay for it myself. Just that is incredible. The $11,000 a year just to buy the health insurance. You have to consider all those factors if you want to go buy your own truck. Before you even put the truck on the road, I have to buy all this. I have to buy OCAC insurance, right? Accident insurance, occupational accident insurance, right? That all costs money. The plate, although some places plate you, they'll give you the plate. You got your regular driver's license 2 months ago, and you're old enough to get your CDL, right? How long do you have to have your regular license before you can get your CDL? 1 second. 1 second. Go down and get it today. Yeah, Maverick starts flatbed drivers less than 6 months at 49 cents. 54 cents to 58 cents at 6 months. There's nothing wrong with that, and I've actually started, people have asked me, I've actually put Maverick out there as a place to, to look into as a starting driver because that's really good pay. That's, 2,500 miles is a grand already. Plus they pay for all these, tarping and all this other stuff. Yeah, and it's flatbed. I know it's flatbed, but it's a challenge. You get all these weird shaped things you put on there. You have to figure out how will this stay on the trailer if I flip it over? Because that's the goal, right? So that it sits there without falling off. You applied to Maverick this morning. Good. Let us know how that goes. Let us know how it goes there at Maverick. What are they actually paying you? That'd be curious to find out. Do they give that money? They say it. Are they giving it, right? This is a good way to find out. As an aside, I'll be at Matt's next year, right? This is all in the future, right? In the end of March. And I'm going to go live there, and I'm going to go up and down the halls there where they have all the companies. I'm going to talk to every one of them live. I'm going to ask them about their detention pay and everything and see who will talk to us and who won't. That's in Louisville at the end of March, the Mid-America Truck Show. Be there live. Put it on your calendar. Come in live. Watch me grill the companies like a hot dog on the charcoal. It's going to be great. I'm planning for it already. Already. See who will talk to us. See who won't. It's going to be great. Going up and down the aisles, talking to everybody. What do you pay? And people you're going to ask me questions right there. We'll ask them on the spot. Get your answers. So if you can't be there, it's just like you're going to be there. It's going to be great. You're waiting on your current career to come to a close, and then you're headed there. All right. Close it out and come out on the road if you want to do it. 2020 is going to be when it's $1 a mile. Okay. Have I found you a teammate? I have not found you a teammate. Have you found a teammate? And I am waiting for that day too. When we're going to get to $1 a mile for company drivers. We're well past 70 at a lot of places now. Well, I've heard this, and somebody, I don't remember who it is, if they're on today or not, I'm sorry. Shed Schneider was at the 80s. Now, I looked. I do not see them advertising that anywhere. So they may be paying it, or that may be with bonuses. I can't find that information out there. They don't. I'd put it out there if I was them. I don't see it out there, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah, let's get them cornered at the best show. I love that show down there. The day, I don't have the day of that show yet. It's at the end of March. I don't even know if they've set the date yet. Maybe. I haven't looked it up yet. It's always like the last weekend in March in Louisville. It's the Mid-America Truck Show. They have a site. Order, if you're going to go, get your tickets in December. Order them online. They're free. They'll mail them to your house. And then you just show up and walk in, right? It's going to be a blast down there. That was the idea there. I'm just going down there, and I want to talk to every company live for everybody that can't be there, and it'd be just like you're there. It's going to be a whole day live as much as I can get done on it. The miles per gallon on 40 to 10,000, it can be a lot, Mitch. It can be a lot. Part of it depends on the kind of trailer and truck, how it is set up. But that can make a huge difference. And you save your tires and everything else. Running up to Mass, I've seen owner-operators getting it. Yeah, oh yeah. There's tons of owner-operators getting $2, $3 a mile. There's loads out there for it. Not every load. Certainly not every load. But in a place where they need trucks, yes, owners can get it. You can. Look, you can make money. I'm not some owner-operator hater, right? It's just me that doesn't want to do it. Because of all the considerations that you have to put into it. And so I'm not willing to make that sacrifice. That's what you have to decide. Are you willing to sacrifice? Because the more you make, the more risk you take. Oh, that rhymed. That's pretty good. I get a rhyme. I wish I could ding myself. I wish I could have a bell. But, okay, anyway, look. So you got to be willing to risk. All right, I'm going to risk not having, health insurance. And I'm not going to have workman's comp. I'm going to have occupational accident. And I may or may not have insurance or not as good of insurance. I'm not going to get paid for vacations and my truck may break down. But for that, you go, but I'm going to make more money. Right. So you're taking a bigger risk. And if it pays off, you make more money. That's correct. If it doesn't, you fall. But that's what it is. It's not guaranteed. Like a company truck, especially with a guarantee, I get paid. But then I don't make as much money. So I give up the higher money for the guarantee. But if you have more risk or you're younger, willing to take that risk, do it. Right. If you want to do it, go buy a truck and do it. Go down to Freightliner or wherever they're selling them near you, Rush Truck Center, and go buy a truck. They're all over the place. Some companies sell their trucks, although I don't know if I'd buy a company truck. A truck that's been in the company, some of our trucks might go through 100 drivers before, and nobody takes care of them. Of course, drivers don't care, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah, get into flatbedding. Temperature control is the only division. Oh, Maverick has 10. Oh, they do, right? They're running those, right? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Yeah, brokers, look, Timothy, brokers can be a pain. You may have to deal with brokers, but you can also find a run that you could do all the time. Okay, see you later out there. Happy day in Italy to you. Welcome. Thanks for coming in from around the world. Yeah, Maverick. Look, people have been telling me about that, so I looked into it, and it's your number one pick. Besides their training, right, their pay, it seems like a good deal. It seems like a good deal going. Crete, they're saying 58%. Does Crete have cameras? Huh. Does Crete have cameras? That's another question. Do they pay detention in that? Because at Maverick, at least you're going to get, they don't get detention maybe necessarily, but you get tarp, untarp. So it's like each load you're getting paid something on, even though it might be your first stop, where at other companies you don't get it. So some of that is good. Oh, nice. There's our Italian lesson today. Arrivederci for everyone from Italy. Thank you for stopping by. So, but it depends. You want to run a flatbed? You want to figure out how to put that stuff on there? It's fascinating. Maybe you have a pickup truck and a coil. I don't know. Maybe you get flat steel and bars. Greasy bars and a coil. There's all kinds of different ways they could do it on there. And you just never know what you're going to get each day. They have a glass division too, I think. Doesn't somebody run glass around? They have all this glass running around. They have that. So there's stuff to do. There's stuff. Not just Maverick. I'm not some Maverick hawk, certainly. I'm waiting for my check from them, apparently. But I think starting a student at 50 cents a mile or close to 50 cents a mile, that's certainly a place you should call. It should at least be on your list to call them. To call them, for sure. That's not a place you want to cross off. Let's call them. Let's find out about them. Can they get you home? Because I don't know how much flatbed stuff runs west. Maybe they're running it west. As a flatbed, I never ran west. Never ran west in a flatbed. It was all over here. All here. Lumber here and then get pipes or something. Basically, I did a big triangle. Chicago, you'd run down to the southeast. You'd get a load that went up to the northeast. You'd come across to Cleveland, and then you'd get a Cleveland to Chicago. That's generally how my week worked on a flatbed. We just run around that kind of big circle. But maybe they go west now, the longer loads I like. And I like the fascinating, keeping your mind fresh. Keeping your mind, looking at that, and that's sitting over here, and you're here emptying. You have to tell the guy, all right, put this here, put this over here, figure out this. I mean, it's more fascinating than just opening your doors and having people shove pallets in there, I guess. But it's not for everybody. If you can't do the physical work, you don't want to be outside every day, you don't want to go out in the cold and do that, then it might not be for you. Jeff, thanks for stopping by. Remember, we're live every Monday at 1, and besides, we're also on during the week. And don't forget to check out truckinganswersnation.com. And as we get to 2, I always want to throw out there, don't forget to watch Jay at Auto Transport Intel tomorrow. Last week's show on YouTube at 8 p.m. Central. What's fascinating about hauling inoperative cars and all this, if you ever wanted to get into car hauling, which is another part of trucking, that was just a fascinating show. I learned something every week from it, and I think you should watch it. So I like to just toss it out there. Jay is a friend of the show, we hope, and so we're throwing that out there. Hauling cars, that's another thing you could do. Enclosed, like Reliable, or an open car hauler, hotshot, whatever it is. There's something for everybody in trucking. If it isn't Maverick, it's somebody. There's a place for you. And if you've had your driver's license 1 second, it's no problem. You can go drive a truck. And no one's ever actually asked me that. Thinking about it, I don't think it's ever been on an application, or they never asked me, even when I started driving, how long have you been driving a car? How long have you had your license? So I don't know if they would even know that. Maybe if they run your DMV, it's probably on there. But I wouldn't say anything about it. I'd just be like, psst, here's the license and go for it. You certainly can go to a school and get your CDL for sure. And nobody's ever really asked me. It's like your high school diploma. You get it and they say to tell you to protect it, and then nobody ever asks you for it. Has anybody ever had to show it? No. You never have to give it to anybody. So I think you can go get your license right away. Right away. And so I'm going to wrap up here as we go to 2. As I leave on Mondays for my single stop. And I do a blog also. I want to throw that out there. I just throw stuff out there at truckinganswersnation.com. Look, it's not, it's not poetry or anything. I just put one up there every day. Check it out. And for you that are looking for jobs, I have a list of companies on there too, right, with their phone numbers. All this is free, right? There's any charge for any of this or anything. I have a whole page of trucking. It's under trucking companies. List of companies and their phone numbers. Start calling. You need a place, start calling. Maverick's number's up there, by the way, right? Start calling these places and find a place that is a good fit for you, because there's a ton of numbers out there. And let me know what you find out of there. No charge on there, okay? Just go on there, click away, no problem. Richard, thanks for coming in. Big, huge Mike. It was great to see you on here. I appreciate you coming in. Are there any Canadian companies? Oh, send some. I'll get some. I will put some Canadian companies on there. Okay, great, Mr. Jim. Thanks. Thanks. I hope you found a company on there, and I try to add companies on there every day. I will put Canadian companies up there, like Challenger and all that. I'll put them on there. Okay. So I will. I didn't think about that. Sorry to my friends to the north. I will put some Canadian companies on there, though. Okay. I will put them on there. So thanks for checking it out anyway. And otherwise, everybody, we're going to roll out of here. You're a Schneider field recruiter? Okay. Told me 40 cents each driver. Wow. 1,000 sign-on bonus, 400 a month for school. That's really something. That's 80 cents a mile, presumably for experienced drivers. That'd be 80 cents split. So you should get 6,000 miles. If you're not getting 6,000 miles teaming, you're at the wrong place. That's 2,400 miles. 6,000, that's 4,800 miles, right? $2,800. 4,800, $2,400. That'd be $2,400 a piece. Yikes. That was a disaster of mathness. Okay, good. Good. Get that picture of that Denny's relief truck. We got to see that. All right, Mr. Scott to go. Otherwise, we're heading out 201. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. We'll be live again Monday and maybe during the week. And don't forget, we will be live next week on Labor Day. So be there at the car show. Going live at the car show. We can look at the cars, talk about stuff. And remember, if you're going to be in the Rantoul or Champaign, Illinois area, at a truck stop, in your truck, let me know. Come out, do a video, and have dinner. All right? Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you for coming in. I want to thank everybody for being here and being on the site and everything. I am super appreciative of it. If you have any questions, Mark at truckinganswersnation.com, and we'll see you on the road. Thanks for coming in.